Greetings to all. I hope everyone has a pleasant start and a good day. First of all, I would like to thank you for attending, and it was a pleasure to see all of you into this meeting. Before we begin, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nurhanis binti Maranzi, and I will be your meeting's chairman today. Also, Miss Alia will assist me throughout this meeting. Without further ado, we shall begin our meeting. Miss Alia, would you mind checking and confirming the members' attendance on the participant list?
Sure, 1 second. From the participant list, everyone is here, Datuk. Unfortunately, yesterday I received an email from Datuk Takif saying that he could not attend today's meeting due to a health condition. Now, I assume a quorum is sufficient to proceed with the meeting.
Thank you, Miss Alia. Before I forget, I would like to announce that we decided to accept the previous minutes of the meeting on 15 August 2022. And since everyone is here, let's get started. And today's meeting of the board of Twinkle Berhad is called to order at 4:30 p.m. On 28 December 2022, and a quorum is present. I hereby call the meeting to order. To begin with, I would like to commence the meeting by introducing the fellow director. The first one is Datuk Ikwan bin Azhar, Datuk Wan Nur Najah binti Wan Abdul Halim, and lastly we have Datuk Nur Syafiqah Adila binti Rahim. Before we begin, the meeting agenda has been distributed through the email. Are there any questions or amendments to the agenda? If yes, please raise your hand. Well, I guess there are no amendments. Therefore, the agenda will run as stated. So, all right, we are gathering in this virtual meeting today to discuss some significant decisions for our company. Miss Alia, can you please briefly state our agenda for today?
All right, we have several things to cover today and a very limited time. In brief, as you can see from the screen, uh, all right, as you can see from the screen, these are our agenda for today's meeting. There are 10 in total. We will begin with the matter regarding approval of audited financial statement for the financial year ended 30 September 2022 and related report. Second, to discuss the re-election of directors. Third, to discuss the fee and benefit of directors for the upcoming year 2023. Fourth, to reappoint auditor and fix remuneration of auditor. Fifth, to discuss the insurance shares. And then we will proceed with the discussion regarding the acquisition of factory from Chamrong Sendian Berhad. Then the meeting will proceed with the declaration of interest. Next, to appoint a corporate representative for the AGM of Sinua Berhad. And we will also review the notice of AGM. And lastly, we will authorize the issuing a notice of AGM. That's our meeting agenda for today's meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Alia. Before we begin, just a gentle reminder to everyone, please avoid cutting anyone off when a person speaks so we can give our full input. Now, we will discuss the first item on the agenda, which is to approve the audited financial statements for the year ended 30 September 2022 and reports of directors and auditors. I was informed that the financial statements had already been circulated to all directors yesterday. So before we proceed further, Miss Alia, can you tell us Mrs. Deloitte's opinion on the company's overall financial statement?
Sure, Dato'. According to the auditor report, they have performed their duty to audit the company financial statement, including the statement of comprehensive income and financial position in a true and fair view. They believe that our company, Twinkle Berhad, has been doing well financially by referring to the profit earned for the year ended 30 September 2022. And they also believe that the company is free from any misstatement or error when recording transaction, and it is accordance with every related MFRS and GAAP.
All right. If any of the directors have questions regarding the audited financial statements, feel free to raise your concerns if you have.
In my opinion, I believe that the appointed auditor had done a great job and carried out their responsibilities with due diligence. Hence, I have no questions regarding the audited financial statements.
I also have same opinion as Datuk Syafiqah.
If like that, then shall we proceed to the approval of the audited financial statements? So I would like to propose Datuk Wan Nur Najihah to be the representative for all directors to sign the document for approval. Is that okay with you, Datuk?
Sure, Datuk. I will sign the document on behalf of the other directors. Miss Alia, please send me the documents via email for me to sign.
Sure, Dato'. I will email to you as soon as the documents are ready.
So let's move to the next agenda, I guess. So I will now proceed with the second agenda of today's meeting, which is regarding the re-election of directors. So Miss Alia, please explain to us clause 22 of the company's constitution. After hearing this explanation, I would like to hear all of your opinions regarding who should be re-elected.
According to clause 2022 of the company constitution, one-third of directors should retire and be eligible to be re-elected. Director who should retire have the longest service from the last election.
In my opinion, Datuk Nurhanis should retire and be re-elected as the director in the upcoming AGM. This is due to her longer service, which is 3 years, from the last election in January 2019.
Yes, I agree with Datuk Syafiqah.
Okay then, I will be one of the directors who will be re-elected in the next AGM. So what about the other director?
I also have an opinion regarding this matter. I think that Datuk Takif should also be re-elected as he was not officially appointed as a director. Datuk Takif was appointed after the seventh AGM took place. This re-election is accordance with clause 22, subsection 1 of the company constitution.
All right. I guess we already have two directors to be re-elected in the its annual grand meeting. Myself and Datuk Takif. Okay. Shall we proceed with the next agenda, which is to discuss the director's remuneration, which includes fees and benefits for the next year. So regarding this, I would like to call upon Datuk Najihah as the member of the remuneration committee to explain the directors, fees and benefits.
Okay, so last month, we had the remuneration committee meeting to review the remuneration of the board, and we have decided to retain directors' fees and benefits for each director. The total directors' remuneration is 420,800 ringgit. Why did we choose this? Is because due to the COVID-19 pandemic that the firm has been dealing with in recent years, and we as the board directors should do our best to reduce the company's operational costs.
True, I agree with this. Furthermore, if we reduce the numbers of fees and benefits, in that case, it will not only affect the director's motivation, but will also create internal pressure for the directors not to receive a reward that is commensurate for their hard work.
Yes, I agree.
So, thank you all. If there is no doubt, then we shall vote. Those in favor of the approval of directors' remuneration, please raise your hand. So, thank you everyone. And since majority agree with this, hereby I declare that the agenda is resolved. So we will now proceed to the next agenda, which is fixing the remuneration of the auditor and appointment of a new auditor. So the current company auditor, which is Deloitte, has already written us a letter informing that they are asking us about our business relationship journey.
Last week, our audit team met with Deloitte to examine the matter based on the meeting resolution. The Deloitte team feel appreciate if our organisation wish to continue working with them.
So thank you, Dr. Ikwan. So regarding the auditor's remuneration, I propose a payment of 25,000 as audit remuneration, which includes the applicable service tax and reimbursement of real out of pocket expenses.
Mr. Chairman, in light of our auditor excellent performance, I propose that we boost our audit remuneration as a token of our appreciation for their service to our company.
It's a great idea. Since our inception, Deloitte has provided professional services to our organization. It is also appropriate to increase the amount of remuneration.
I agree to increase their remuneration as a symbol of our gratitude for their excellent service throughout the years. I propose a 5,000 increase.
So the total amount is 30,000 ringgit. So everyone agrees with the amount.
Yes, I agree with that.
I propose the resolution.
I second.
I'm confident that all the executives has reached on agreement. With that, the remuneration of the auditor will be 30,000 ringgit.
Later, I will notify the auditing team to alert Deloitte of this wonderful news, since they have provided us with fantastic auditing service from our company inception.
So after the last audited account, we shall reappoint the auditor. So does anyone have any suggestions on how to address this dilemma?
Based on the company's experience working with Deloitte, I would recommend for us to maintain this professional business relationship. This is because Deloitte is one of the so-called big four professional service firms. There are also other services firms like PwC, EY, and also KPMG. However, Deloitte seems to be there are more professionals in Deloitte and than anyone else around the world, both in terms of revenue and also the number of employees. Deloitte also has done a lot of audit work and has a lot of experience in auditing.
Well, thank you for your suggestion.
That is something I agree with. Deloitte is a global network of professional service firms. Deloitte serves over 2,000 large companies in over 150 countries with professional service.
That sounds great. I agree to reappoint Deloitte as our auditors.
So does everyone agree with appointing Deloitte as our auditors? So our new auditor will be Deloitte, as everyone here has agreed. So Miss Alia, please write a letter to Deloitte and ask Deloitte to attend our AGM, requesting that they will keep being our company's auditor.
Sure, Datuk.
Okay. So let's move to our sixth agenda, which is about the authority to issue shares pursuant to Section 75 and 76 of Companies Act 2016. Dr. Ikwan, could you please help me to explain this to all directors?
Sure, Datuk. Subject to Sections 75 and 70C of the Company Act 2016, the director of the company are empowered to issue and allot shares upon the approval by way of resolution by the company has been obtained. And further that such authority shall commence immediately upon the passing of this resolution and continue to be enforced until the conclusion of the next annual general meeting of the company.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ikwan. So in this regard, I would like to notify you that the shares that will be authorized will be 1,450,000 units of ordinary share capital with an average price per share of one ringgit and 23 cent. So does anyone have any thoughts or issues about this? Please put your hand up.
No, Datuk.
No,
No,
Datuk.
Datuk.
So, alright, if there are no comments or any objections, which means that the agenda is authorized and will be presented to the members at the upcoming annual grand meeting for approval. So, for the next agenda, we will be discussing the potential acquisition of a factory from Chamurong Sdn Bhd. As far as I know, our managing director, Mr. Ikwan, has already sent a memo to Miss Alia to invite a representative from Chamrong Sdn Bhd to join us and discuss the proposal. So, Miss Alia, how did it go? Did a Chamrong representative manage to attend our meeting today?
Dato and all directors, yes, I did send an invitation email uh, to a representative from Chamrong Sdn Bhd to join us at today's board meeting to discuss the potential acquisition of the factory. However, they were unable to attend due to other business commitment. But on 20th September, December, 20 December, sorry, 20 December 2022, last few weeks, we were able to schedule a separate meeting before today's board meeting to discuss the acquisition of factory, which involved Mr. Ikwan, Datuk Takif, Ms. Chia, who is a representative from Shamrong Sdn Bhd, and myself.
So can our managing director, Datuk Ikwan, provide an update on the outcome of the meeting that was held with Chamrong Sdn Bhd?
Sure, Datuk. During our previous meeting with Ms. Chia from Chamrong Sdn Bhd, we discussed the price they offer to sell the company and the factory. They have proposed a price of 7,450,000 ringgit, which is 7% higher than our budget. According to the valuation report I sent to you in an email yesterday, the price offered by Chamrong Sdn Bhd is at the market value. The factory is fully equipped with all necessary machine and equipment, which will be ready for use in our future operation. It is expected that the acquisition of the factory will bring economic benefits to our company in future.
I understand your concerns, which is a valid point to consider. So the proposed acquisition of the factory from the Changrong Sdn Bhd is 7% higher than our initial budget. And it is possible that some shareholders may not agree to this proposal.
Regarding to acquisition of the factory from the Chamrong Sdn Bhd,
Mm-hmm.
I have discussed the matter with the CFO and we have prepared a prospectus. We are confident that we will be able to persuade the shareholder to approve the acquisition based on the information and analysis presented in the prospectus.
Wow, that is good to hear. So before we finalize the acquisition price of the factory from Changrong Sinar Berhad, does anyone have any comments or objections to the proposed price?
No.
No.
No. So I guess I'm so glad to hear that. So if there are no further objections or concerns, we will proceed to finalize the acquisition price of the factory from Chamrong Senior Berhad at 7,450,000 ringgit, and we will bring this proposal to the upcoming annual grand meeting for approval. So let's move on the seventh agenda, which is to discuss the declaration of interest pursuant to section 221 of Companies Act 2016. So I would like to welcome Dato' Wan Najah to explain this matter briefly.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. So on the 2nd of December 2022, I have decided to acquire one set of shares, which is also equivalent to 80,000 units of shares in Shulis Dian Berhad. I think that this disclosure is compulsory for our company because we might be having a potential business relationship with Sholis Dian Berhad in the future. Thus, I declare my interest in Sholis Dian Berhad.
So thank you, Dato' Najia, so for your further explanation. So I hope that everyone do understands and is aware about this matter. Okay, so now shall we proceed with the next agenda, which is the appointment of a corporate representative for the AGM of Sinua Berhad. So may I ask, does anyone have a suggestion on who will we will appoint as our corporate representative?
I propose that to Syafiqah Adila to be our corporate representative.
Oh, Datuk Najah, so what do you think about this proposal?
Yes, I totally agree with Dato' Ikwan.
Oh, all right. So, how about Datuk Nur Syafiqah? Do you agree to become our corporate representative?
Yes, it is a big honor to be a representative and speak on behalf of our company.
Great. So, are there any objections on this matter? If like that, then since there are no objections, we can conclude by saying that we all agreed to appoint Datuk Nur Syafiqah Adila to be our corporate representative for the next AGM of Sinua Berhad on 10th January 2023. So, all right, let's move to our 10th agenda, which is to review and approve the notice of annual grand meeting. So, I believe that Miss Alia already emailed the draft notice of AGM. But if you did not get the draft, please raise your hand so that Miss Alia will resend back the email. Is that okay, Miss Alia?
Yes, of course, Dato. Is there anyone who has not received the email yet? Please check your spam if it's not available in your inbox. All right. Everyone appears to have received the email. Now you may proceed the meeting, Dato.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Alia. So you may now refer to the drafts or just look at the shared screen. Um, as you guys can see, there is not much difference about the agenda from our previous AGM. Is there any suggestion or correction that needs to be made?
I don't think that there's any correction that needs to be made.
So that's all for this agenda, and that concludes the notice of AGM. So without further delay, we are gonna move to our last of the day agenda, which is approving the date for the next annual general meeting and authorizing Miss Alia to issue a notice of the AGM. So is there any suggestion on the date of the next AGM?
I think that we should have it on the 23rd of February 2023, which is a Wednesday, and held at our office in meeting room 1.
I'm sorry, Datuk Najiha, but I disagree. I think the date is too late for us to have an EGM. What about the 15th of February 2023, but still at the same location?
I agree with Datuk Syafiqah.
Oh, so does anyone oppose this date? So Miss Alia, can you please help me check whether there is any important event on that day?
Sure, Datuk. 1 second.
Okay.
So far, we don't have any major company event on that day.
So that's great. How about the others? Will you all be available on that day? If you are all uncertain about that date, please raise your hand.
I don't have anything on that date.
That date is perfect for me, so I don't have any problems with it.
I have other personal things to do around 1 p.m. If the AGM ends later than that, then I might have to leave early.
All right. So we will have our next annual general meeting on 15 February 2023 at 10 a.m. at meeting room 1, Twinkle Berhad, lot 3911, Wisma Twinkle, Jalan Teluk Wanjah, Alustar 05460, Kedah.
Thank you so much, Miss Alia. So you can prepare the notice of AGM after this board meeting ends, and please put the notice on the company's calendars as well. Are there any questions?
May I know when the notice of the coming AGM will be distributed?
Miss Alia will send the notice of AGM at least 21 days before the meeting to all of the directors and the members.
Yes, exactly Dato'. I will send the notice of the AGM to all of you and our shareholders as soon as possible, at least by 21st January 2023.
So if there is no more question, we will then proceed with the voting session. Please show your hand if you have no objection. So, alright, since there is no objection, the agenda for upcoming AGM is approved. So before we conclude our meeting, I would like to suggest the next date of our board meeting. I am planning to have the meeting on 31st May 2023, which is on Wednesday. Is everyone okay with this date? Okay, everyone has agreed. So we will have our board meeting on 31st May 2023. But since the date is still far away, if later anyone is unable to attend the meeting due to unavoidable reason, so please let Miss Alia know so that we can discuss whether we want to change the date or not. So, all right, it's great that we were able to complete all of our agenda today. So, Miss Alia, as a recap of today's meeting, could you kindly assist in concluding what we have discussed today?
Sure, Dato'. All right. Based on our meeting today, we have resolved all 10 agendas. To summarize, I will summarize one by one. All right. For the first agenda number 1, audited financial statement and related report or document are approved by the board. The directors the directors and auditors report will be presented in the next EGM, which on 23rd. 1 second. 15 February, sorry. So the director and auditor report will be presented in the next AGM on 15 February 2023 for discussion only. Next, for the agenda number 2, the board agreed to propose re-election on the retirement of Datuk Nurhanis binti Mat Razi and Datuk Thaqif bin Yusof at this upcoming AGM. Third agenda, the board has agreed to approve director fee and benefit amounting to 400 to 428,000 ringgit for the upcoming year. Next, the board also agreed to reappoint the same auditor as well as maintain the fee. Also, the board has approved the authority to issue shares pursuant 32 to section 75 and 76 of the Companies Act 2016. Also, all board members have been informed of Datuk Wan Nur Najihah on its interest in Then the board also agreed on the price acquisition of the factory from Chamrong Sendian Berhad for agro-based industry investment at 7,450,000. And next, all board is aware and well informed of the appointment of Datuk Nur Syafiqah Adila as our corporate representative for the AGM of Sinua Berhad. And lastly, the last agenda, the board approved the notice of AGM to be issued on 21st January 2023 and agreed to conduct physically at meeting room 1, Twinkle Berhad, lot 393911, Wisma Twinkle, Jalan Teluk Wanjah, Alostar, 05460, Kedah on Wednesday, 15 February 2023 at 10 a.m.
Well,
That's
thank you so much, Miss Alia, for the conclusion. So, if there are no other questions or matters that need to be discussed, I would like to look for a motion to adjourn.
I propose that the meeting to be adjourned.
I seconded the proposal.
So, I now declare this meeting to be adjourned. So, thank you so much for all of the directors for coming today. So, stay home and stay safe. So, our meeting has ended now. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.